But so we're going to jump into our next topic. So let's see, what do we got? What do we got? So welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to talk about, will Tesla drop the price of the Model 3 standard range soon? It seems like, Tesla is following similar cadences. They have a certain order of what they do, at least what they've done in the past, like 3-4 months. So it definitely might be possible that a Model 3 standard range price decrease might be coming, and I'll show you why I think that might be the case and why a couple other people also think it's the case as well. So if you're just jumping into the stream, in the video, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically getting the best price on your Tesla, or getting the best deal on your Tesla, or just getting really good financing on your Tesla. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. We stream for an hour a day pretty much at this point, so definitely hit that subscribe if you are interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so Model 3 standard range pricing. The Model 3 standard range pricing is currently at $43,990. It was $46,990. And when this whole, it's only been a week and a few days now, when this whole price drop craze happened last Thursday or Friday, the Model 3 standard range only went down $3,000. And I know I say only, but I say only because even if you look at the dollar amount, $3,000, or even the percentage point, it was really the lowest percentage point difference across all the models. I mean, I think the biggest shocker was the Model Y long range going down 20%, Model 3 Performance down 14%, and Model 3 standard range only down 6% or $3,000. And of course, I'm not sure, why they didn't necessarily need to do that, because the Model 3 standard range was already the cheapest Tesla vehicle, or Tesla Model 3 as well. But taking a look at historical charts, the Model 3 standard range at one point was, when it first came out, $37,000. It went back up to like $40,000. They went back down to like $38,000, $37,000. But the cheapest it's ever been is $37,000. And this is why we potentially think, a Tesla discount they might change the price of that coming soon, because inventory of the Model 3 across all levels is starting to spike up. So shout out to Farziness on Twitter, quote, "New Tesla Model 3 inventory continues to increase. Tesla will likely need to incentivize this model. My guess is the relative value of Model Y is potentially cannibalizing Model 3. Will be interesting to see what Tesla does here." And so if you're interested in where this chart actually is, it's actually, shout out to mattjung.net. He tracks Tesla inventories across the country, US only. And you can see right here, we are starting to see an increase of Tesla Model 3s coming into the inventory. And this could be Model 3, Model 3 long range, or even Model 3 Performance. And so there's a good amount there. And anytime this has happened in the past 3 to 6 months, Tesla would then do something, whether it's in December, they released that $3,750 discount, or the 10,000 supercharger miles, or even that $7,500 discount. So Tesla's got demand levers and buttons that they can push at any point of time. So it's going to be a very interesting time, because, is the Model 3 standard range going to go down? I mean, of course, we have no crystal ball, but just going off of the track record of what Tesla did in the past, it certainly could happen. You can see right now there's 265 Model 3 standard range available for sale across the country on waitingfortesla.com. Shout out for them. And, they are starting to pull some of their tricks that they've used in the past out of the book. I had a call and scheduled a call with someone scheduled a call with me yesterday, and they have a Model 3 standard range on, or they're interested in a Model 3 standard range, and they did not have one on order. They went onto the Tesla website and scheduled the test drive, and they have a test drive scheduled for next Wednesday. And he told me that the Tesla rep already reached out to them and said, "Hey, we actually have a Model 3 standard range coming into our store that same week. It has the 19-inch rims. I know you don't want the 19-inch rims, but we will waive the credit, or waive the extra cost for that 19-inch rims for you, so you can take delivery." So Tesla, that's actually called an option credit waiver, or option credit incentive, and Tesla did that all through the early days of December. And so it seems like that's still a strategy that the Tesla sales team has in their back pocket. So if you're interested in a Model 3 standard range, try and throw an order in, or try and be interested in a base one, and see if Tesla will incentivize you to take a more built out one with white interior, bigger rims, and see if they'll waive the option on that. So, definitely, some interesting stuff that might be coming regarding the Model 3 standard range. And here's another thought from James Cat, or Tesla fan MTL. Quote, I think the Model Y at these prices is too compelling, and upselling would be Model 3 buyers to Model Y. Model 3 prices may need to fall further. And that actually makes sense, because if we take a look at the prices after the tax credit, the Model 3 standard range is $36,000. Model 3 long range is $42,000. I mean, you might as well just bump up to that long range. It's a $6,000 difference. I mean, I think that's not worth $6,000 more. I would just get the Model 3 standard range, but maybe a lot of people are willing to get that get that extra long range versus the short range. But then going from like a Model 3 standard range at 36 to Model Y standard range, that's what, a $7,000 bump. Okay, that makes sense. Well, I mean, relatively, I guess that's not a lot of money when you're already plunking down $40,000. So you might as well get the biggest vehicle, I guess, for bang for your buck. And so that's why, I mean, a lot of people, there's sentiment out there that the Model Y long range at $45,000 or $52,000 is the best value out there right now. So is it cannibalizing sales? It certainly could be with the current pricing. It's too close. And so potentially the Model Y standard range needs to come down in price. And don't forget, like, Elon prefers volume over profit margin. And he said in the last earnings call, he says the Tesla prices are embarrassingly high. And he wants to get back down to, or he wants to get down to sell more vehicles at the end of the day. So let me know what your thoughts on it. I'm probably going to throw a poll out here. Actually, we'll probably do it right now. Do you think Tesla is going to reduce the price of the... Actually, no. Actually, I already did that. I put a poll out here just a day ago, and I said, at what price is the Tesla Model 3 standard range 100% worth it? Like, no doubt on the price, like, slick deal, buy. Current price is $49,990, and price after tax rate is $36,490. And the overwhelming majority said 31 to 35K, 42%, and then 30K at 22%, and then of course $20,000 is the slick deal at 11%. But I certainly think $25,000 is a sweet spot, and I know Alexis thinks so too, because she's shopping for a used Tesla, and that would be sick if they can get into like used Tesla Model 3 pricing, like 25 to 30K, and they can get a brand new one for 30 to 32, 31. That would be absolutely insane, and I bet that would sell a ton of Model 3 standard ranges. But let me know what your guys' thoughts on it. Do you think the Model 3 standard range could, shave off some more pricing to get a little lower, or do you think it's accurately priced? And I mean, we don't have to guess. I mean, there's a ton in inventory. So when inventory goes up, Tesla only has one move at the end of the day, or they can only incentivize or just do something. So we'll see what happens in the next month, or really we're going to see what happens in March, because March is going to be a rocky time to buy a Tesla with the tax credit changing, it also being the last month of the quarter. All this stuff is definitely going to be pretty interesting. But we're going to jump into some of the comments and some of the questions. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description, there's a Patreon where you can support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, including actually scheduling a call with me, where you can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you schedule the call, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the resources that I use to get the best possible deal at the best possible price, including a credit union on that list that has interest rates as low as 3% for 60 months. And I also, as an added benefit, I respond to all messages in my Patreon to my Patreon members. So definitely check out if you're interested. But let's jump into some of the comments. Let's see here. DGen Dev. What'd you say? I saw you said something interesting. I think my Model Y is expected delivery of March 27 to 31st. Hopefully I get the $7,500 credit. Ooh, that is tight. Wow, that's a very accurate date range too. Usually when you're that far out, they say like February 15th to March 15th, but that's pretty interesting that they're going all the way there. Mika, I was scrolling through your videos and you probably made one and I didn't find it. The recommended interior accessories for the Model Y, matte, screen protector, and favorite organizer. That's tough. That's tough. That's kind of spread out across a bunch. I like the matte screen protector, but then also like the gloss one. So you can really go either way. Like might as well just change it up every few months. If you're in terms of floor mats, pretty much anything that's under $150. They're all the same to me. And then organizer, Jiawei has a good one. Discount link for Jiawei and Tamai right there on the screen. Oh, I gotta change that. Jiawei, we have some discounts there, but Jiawei is a really nice one. It's got like rubberized mat. It's somewhere in my room right now, but I really like that's for sure. Yang, Dennis, tell her I'm gonna buy her a Model 3, but no promises. Oh, you're gonna buy a Lexus one? No, how nice of you. You'd assume that prices would go up for Project Highland and new hardware for potential USS. Yeah, or I mean, they could try and use that to incentivize more sales or get more hype on the sales. Just got my VIN for the Model 3. Thanks for all your info. Congrats. Hopefully you were able to secure one relatively quick. Definitely a test drive. Do I need to test drive before I order? No, not necessarily. Let me think about this. Model 3, I did not test drive. Model Y. No, Model 3, I did test drive. Model Y, I did not test drive. Model S, I did not test drive. And my latest Tesla, I also did not test. Well, actually, no, I did, but that was like an older one, a used one. Yang, not sure what nationality you are, but happy Lunar New Year's Eve to you. Happy Lunar New Year's Eve to you as well. Thank you. Blip Blop, imagine how even more successful Tesla would become if they started out the Model Y instead of the Model